Hi, I'm Joanna. Welcome to my channel. This video is number 20. Today I'm going to review 4 books, 3 fiction, 1 nonfiction. Let's get started. The first novel is Dark Maestro by Brendan Slocum. Now, this particular author has already written 2 previous novels that I did read, and I enjoyed them. They are so much fun. They're a mystery and very suspenseful. In this particular novel, the main character is Curtis. He's a young boy, a young prodigy child, and he has chosen the cello to master. So he does come from a broken home. His mother is not in the picture for the most part. She is kind of a drug user, etc. And so he is raised by his father. Now, his father is brilliant with numbers, but he has chosen to use his gift in illegitimate ways. So he gets involved with drug trafficking, and that's when everything crumbles, especially for Curtis, who has these aspirations of being a brilliant and masterful cellist. So eventually, the family has to go into hiding, into a protective program. And that means Curtis's father, Curtis's father's girlfriend, his grandmother, and Curtis himself. And this impacts his life and changes it completely. All his aspirations, everything, just the normalcy of living life out in the open, right? And so that's the story. The thing about Slocum's writing is that it isn't predictable. You can make assumptions while you're reading it, but then you are pleasantly surprised at the twists and turns, and that just makes it a fun read. I enjoy him. I enjoy his prose. I give this book 4 stars. Book number 2, The Original Daughter by Jemima Way. I love it when a novel hooks me immediately. That's what this author was able to do. I stayed with the novel from beginning to end, very, very interested and very invested. So the setting is in Singapore, and the main character is Genevieve. She is, at the time of 1996, 9 years old, and she's an only child with her mother and father. Then she gets an adopted sister, Erin, who is 8 years old, and she comes from a secret family. So the first part of the book, the author develops the sisters. They grow and build a sweet relationship together. And then the second part of the book, one sister accelerates in life more successfully than the other, and the sisterhood woefully deteriorates. The author very talentedly draws us in this unusual family dynamic. We are in Singapore. We get the feel of the Chinese culture. We understand how education is an extreme focus for the family, but it's also a heavy burden on the entire family. And I think we can all relate because this family experiences jealousy, which turns into pride, which just, is the downfall of our relationships. And as you're reading this novel, I'm constantly thinking, for the main character, which is Genevieve, or Jen, you're pushing for her to soften her heart, to be a little bit more easy in her headspace, her dialogue within her. And then I'm kind of hoping for forgiveness. And as we know, once you leave things too long, time will run out. But in this particular novel, I held out hope for the small, family that was left, because it can be an inconclusive ending. I have to say, I was sad for the most part while reading this novel, but it's compelling. I give this 4.5 stars. Book number 3, The Oligarch's Daughter by Joseph Finder. Now, Joseph Finder is typically a thriller and very suspenseful writer, and this book does not disappoint in that area. He's prolific. He's written about 17 novels, and a couple of those novels have been made into movies. In The Oligarch's Daughter, the setting opens in New Hampshire, and the main character is Grant Anderson, and he is a shipbuilder. We very soon learn that Grant Anderson is a pseudonym. His real name is Paul Brittman, and he has been hiding for about 5 years from Russians. Okay, so the novel takes us back to when Paul Brittman is introduced to his wife, Tatiana. Tatiana is the daughter of an oligarch named Adiman. And then Paul worked as a hedge fund, and then he eventually worked for his father-in-law. The FBI comes in and forces Paul to become a spy on his father-in-law. And so there's a lot of twists and turns, and it gets very, very exciting. I enjoy the way this author takes us on a fast-paced ride. They are thrillers. He is prolific. He knows what he's doing. You know what you're going to get when you read one of his novels. If you're not familiar with Joseph Finder and you like suspenseful thrillers, this one you may like. It won't disappoint. I give this 4 stars. Book number 4, my nonfiction book, Careless People, a cautionary tale of power, greed, and lost idealism by Sarah Wine Williams. This is also a memoir, and the author is from New Zealand. She opens up the book by giving a personal anecdote. She was attacked by a shark when she was young, and as I look at the cover, perhaps there's like dual meaning, because the more we learn about the culture at Facebook, there seem to be a lot of shark predators, on that hierarchy or paradigm ladder. She basically takes us through the years that she began working at Facebook until her expiration date. She starts in 2011. She becomes a new mother there, talks about the challenges of working as a new mother, and then she talks about the extreme hypocrisy happening at Facebook. It was a disturbing read for the most part, just to learn, it kind of like was an accident, or it carelessly came to this huge phenomenon where, the people began to become more powerful, extreme wealth was involved, and then, kind of a moral decline, it seems. We learn about the decisions Facebook makes regarding the public and, across the world. And, you feel so insignificant, basically, because you are part of the mob that ignorantly, for me, gives up all our information. And the way in which our information is traded and used is not for our benefit, but for everyone else's benefit. And it is troubling and frightening to understand how it works. And she does share that. She's honest. I appreciate that she divulged this and she was able to write about it. I fear for her a little bit, but I'm thankful she wrote it. I enjoyed the book. I give this 4 stars. I'll be back next week with 4 more books.